The following is a video about old campaign slogans from politics. This may not be the most enjoyable video for some viewers. If you'd like to continue watching, please do. For everyone else, I would not blame you for not watching this video. So, I really have no particular reason for making this video other than I was looking at them just the other day and some of them are gems. Jesus Christ. What happened to the eloquence of old? You know what I mean? 'Cause some of these are legitimately scathing. Others are, damn, that's actually clever. And others are, damn, that's just good. So I'm gonna start with one that we've all heard probably if you've studied American history in history class, and that's "Tip a canoe and Tyler too." That's William Henry Harrison, back in 1840. That's actually the first ever campaign slogan actually used on the campaigning trail. So that's pretty cool. Another one that you should have heard in history class is 54-40 or fight. That's James K. Polk saying that that's how he wanted to measure the Oregon territory. That's where he said it needed to end, which it did. Let us say that Oregon, keep in mind, this was Washington State and Oregon together. That used to be what the entire Oregon territory was. Let's see. There's also from the other candidate in 1844, Henry Clay. This is one of his campaign slogans. Who's James K. Polk? Just, pointing out no one knows who the first candidate is. And actually, I think at the time president. I think. I'm not too sure. We're gonna skip ahead quite a few years to 1852. Because I like this, just because it's got that 1950s snap, but it's not the 1950s. We poked you in 44. We poked you in 44. We shall pierce you in 52. Of course, the presidential campaign for Franklin Pierce. And 1 year and 4 years later, in 1856, we have James Buchanan, and going with "We'll buck 'em in 56." To go with the whole, lineage there. And if you put it together like that, it's "We poked them in 54. We poked them in 44. We pierced them in 52, and we'll buck them in 56." I like that. It's very, very 1950s. Very 1950s style. Let's see, what else do we got here? We're skipping over Abraham Lincoln's first election in 60 to go to 1864 with "Don't change horses midstream." It's pretty good. Just don't change leadership later, or don't change leadership while you still have war on. Good reason. Good reasoning. Same actual year, but one of his generals gets in the fight, and George McClellan. An honorable, permanent, happy peace. No, dude. Let's see, what else do we have going down? Oh, 1872. Grant us another term. Ulysses S. Grant. I like that one. Just it's with his name in it, You get brownie points from me for that kind of stuff. 1884. There's quite a few good ones here. All of them surrounding James Blaine, Alright, so James Blaine, if I remember right, was a Democrat? No, he was a Republican. Okay. By the way, I'm reading this all off of Wikipedia, so slightly take this with a grain of salt. Take some of these with a grain of salt. But in 1884, we have, coming from James Blaine's office, Romanism, and rebellion, saying that the Democrats supported, alcohol drinking, or as I'll be calling it from here on out, beer swilling, Catholic immigrants, and the Confederacy. Shock, horror, and terror. So let's see, what else do we got? Oh yeah, James Blaine himself directly attacking Grover Cleveland. But you'll find out that Grover Cleveland's people had the last laugh. With James Blaine starting off with the Ma, where's my pa? And when Grover Cleveland got elected, his supporters would respond, gone to the White House, ha ha ha. Now, you may not find that exactly funny, but keep in mind there was actually a giant scandal that said Grover Cleveland had fathered an illegitimate child. That's why the Ma, where's my pa? I.e., he disappeared before everything. Let's see. There's also, this time from Cleveland's side, attacking Blaine, burn this letter, as that's actually quoting Blaine himself when he made a correspondence with some of his staff to cover up the corruption he was doing. I wonder why he didn't win. And the final one, stabbing deep into Blaine's campaign. Blaine, James G. Blaine, the continental liar from the state of Maine. Cleveland, I'm telling you, he told you like it is. That's scathing right there. To 1888, we have, from the campaign of Benjamin Harrison, who would win, grandfather's hat fits Ben. Keep in mind, William Henry Harrison was Benjamin Harrison's grandfather, so yeah, it fits. And that's really the only good one until the very last election before 1900. And what do we get? From William Jennings Bryan, nonetheless. No cross of gold, no crown of thorns. Yeah, that's a good one. Yes, it's from a speech, but come on, that is pretty damn good. We're going to now go to 1908 with William Howard Taft, the largest president we had in the White House. A square deal for all. 4 years later, in 1912, we have, from Teddy Roosevelt, a square deal all around, evoking Taft. But that's not that great, Teddy. Come on. We know what you can do. But Taft is still coming out with something pretty strong. In rhyme, nonetheless, it is nothing but fair to leave Taft in the chair. And to be honest, he's right. I don't want to try to pick him up out of there, either. It's easier just to cut away the floor and to dolly him out than to actually just try to lift him out of that seat that he's probably stuck in. He got stuck in the bath a lot. The White House actually had to have a specialty bathtub made specifically that is Taft sized. Yikes. 1916, right before America decided to jump in to the fight, we have from Woodrow Wilson, the classic, "He kept us out of war." It's pretty good. And of course, the other one that I actually do like. He proved the pen mightier than the sword. And finally, war in the East, peace in the West. Thank God for Woodrow Wilson. But you know what? Isn't too bad. That's not too bad in the slightest. 1920 is really the only one that I care about, and that's from Eugene V. Debs. Eugene V. Debs was arrested during the First World War in the United States for being an aggregator of anti-war sentiment, actively imploring Americans or American men to burn their draft cards, at the time called conscription. So burn their conscription cards, don't volunteer for the war, actively resist. And he got, arrested for unconstitutional speech. And of course, he said, well, I have a constitutional right to speak my mind. And this was what was one of the major sticking points of the Sedition Act, of you can't say anything, to cause public turmoil during a time of crisis. Same reason why you can say fire anytime you like, but you can't yell fire, like say in a movie theater, because it'll cause panic. And his campaign slogan was, "From Atlanta prison to the White House." But you know what? I wouldn't mind. I would like to see that happen. 1924 there's one that I really like, and it's just keep cool and keep Coolidge. Yeah, Calvin Coolidge, stuck in there. 1928, Herbert Hoover, and another classic one from Herbert Hoover, his infamous "a chicken in every pot and a car in every garage." Although his opponent Al Smith, who stood for the repeal of Prohibition, which is a very key point of what is said here now, one of his campaign slogans was, "Make all your wet dreams come true." This is in reference to alcohol, not sex. Wet and dry counties, it's the same thing as those. So if you want to have a wet dream, that means you want to have a dream where you can drink alcohol. And another one that's pretty good is just all for Al and Al for all. Pretty good. Not the best. Pretty good. Is the best? No. I like the make all your wet dreams come true more, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. Then came 1932's Happy Days Are Here Again by one Franklin Delano Roosevelt. First of his winnings. And in 1936, with one of his opponents really not liking his New Deal, one of his opponents, Alfred M. Landon, said, "Let's get another deck." Fair enough. He also was, he really did have, he had himself I'm thinking masters from the James Bond School of Punnery, because a man was on point here. In Life, Liberty, and Landon. Life, Liberty, and Land. That's the joke right there. And of course, there's the "Let's make it a Landon slide." That's where that degree came in, very much. Of course, FDR wasn't the only one to try to be cleverish. But this one's just kind of slightly sad. In saying, no one remembers this person. And all FDR said was, "Remember Hoover?" Yes, remember Herbert Hoover? No. Why are you bringing this up? Yes, I remember him. Why are you bringing this up? 1940. Better a third-termer than a third-rater. Of course, FDR still. No Third Term by Wendell L. Willkie. Of course, pointing out that FDR had 2 terms traditionally people gave up after 2. He's going for a 3rd. No, that's not right. Of course, in 1944, I'm gonna jump ahead for a second here. 1944, FDR would bring back an old slogan from Abraham Lincoln of the "Don't swap horses midstream." But we're gonna have to swap horses because our lead horse died. And since we're sticking in 1944 for a second, I just want to bring up Thomas E. Dewey. He is going to be important later. But damn it, do I enjoy this one. And he just goes, Dewey or don't we? And he put the Dewey as his last name. D-E-W-E-Y. Dewey. I'm sorry, I just like that. Anyways, back to 1940 for a second. Because Wendell Willkie was not done saying, no, enough FDR. Because along with his no 3rd term, he also went with no 4th term either. Oh, you poor dumb fool. You got a 4th term. I mean, he died in it. I mean, died relatively early in it. But still, 4th term. Hey. And of course, the final one that we're going to bring up is Roosevelt for ex-president. That one I like. That twist the knife in there. It's a good knife twist. Now to 1948, where Harry Truman finally gets to campaign for himself as an independent man. And his campaign slogan is actually a song. Yeah. We don't get campaign songs anymore, right? So we get, well, I'm just wild about Harry. And literally that was his thing. So if you've ever wondered where that song came from, this is actually where it came from. And Harry's all about me. Thomas Dewey, of course, was his major opponent. And he was still coming strong with some pretty good Dew puns. Of course, he had and this is the last one that we're going to talk about for 1948. And last, we'll see of Dewey, actually, unfortunately. But, do it with Dewey. So, yeah, alright. And, standard stuff like, one with Dewey, and, whatever. 1956. Of course, 1952 was the Eisenhower election. And we all remember, I like Ike. And I still do like Ike. That's 1956. I still like Ike. That's really, I guess, the... oh, wait, no. Let me talk about Adlai Stevenson and Essie Convers. I think mostly the reason why they didn't win is because no one could pronounce their first names. But that aside, their campaign slogan was... one of their campaign slogans was, the winning team. Not correct. The second one was, Aldi and S's, the bestest. Grammar fails you. We're now jumping all the way into the 60s, man. 64. And we have a call and response from Barry Goldwater and then LBJ. So Barry Goldwater said, "In your heart, you know he's right. He's the right man for the job." And LBJ came back with, "In your guts, you know he's nuts." Ooh, that's a good, nice about face and stab. Yeah, so let's continue on into the 1960s. We're gonna get, I think, maybe to the end of the 60s. Oh, no, never mind, we're good. So it's to the 70s, 1972. You know who? No, everyone loves a good dick joke. So Nixon, get your ass in here. So, let's see. What do we have from Nixon? Or people saying bad about Nixon? Which, let's be real, is always a good thing. And keep in mind, again, this is all Nixon jokes. I'm not trying to say anything sexual. Just want to put it out there. Okay. So, we have by George McGovern. Come home, America. That's pretty good. I like that. Just simple, nice. Very, very actually like Ronald Reagan. That actually, now think about it. We have Dick Nixon before he dicks you. By anyone who just doesn't like Nixon. That's fair enough. And Nixon supporters came back with, "They can't lick our dick." Seriously, everyone loves a good penis joke. But anyways, yeah, Nixon. Maybe don't say that. Just putting it out there. And finally, again, Nixon supporters. Don't say this. Oh, this was actually from his. This is his official campaign slogan. Don't change dicks in the midst of a screw. Vote Nixon in '72. Oh Christ, man. Jesus. 1976 came around and we get Peaches and Cream from Jimmy Carter. Keep in mind, Jimmy Carter was a representative of Georgia, and his running mate of Walter Mondale was from Minnesota. And they do have a lot of cows in Minnesota, so peaches and cream, fair enough. Jimmy Carter also did try to really hype himself up. Maybe not for the best, dude. But, you know what he did say? He said, why not the best? Well, I mean, you are better than Ford, who said, he's making us proud again. No, you're not, but good to see you have optimism. Oh, boy. And Jimmy Carter, again, with the, not just peanuts, alluding to what he used to do before he was in politics. And finally, we get to 1980, the beginning of Reaganomics. And the classic, let's make America great again. Kind of being echoed now by some orange with a bit of Labrador fur on top of his head. I forget his name. Johnny Mans? Walter Cronkite? I don't know. But that's 1980. We have to go with something a little bit even more iconic, actually, I think, from Reagan in 1984. It's warning again in America. That's just nice. Damn. Walter Mondale. If you remember, he was vice president the first time. Now he's presidential candidate in his own right. Bye, Peaches. Looks like Cream is gonna be whooping you. I could have phrased that better. I'm still gonna run with it though. And Mondale actually just went with the classic Wendy's line of, "Where's the beef?" saying that his opponent lacked any substance. Specifically, the rival he was talking about is not Reagan, hilariously. It's Gary Hart. Let's go down to 88. And we have Robert J. Dole as a leader for America. I don't think so. But one of the many Texans we've had in George H.W. Bush came out with Kinder, Gentler Nation. And also the 1,000 Points of Light, which is pretty good. Although I do like Jesse Jackson's Keep Hope Alive. 1992 has a lot of campaign slogans. So let's go through them and see which ones were pretty nice. Pat Buchanan brings America first. Ross Perot goes Ross for boss. Doo-doo-doo. Bill Clinton with the original one. It's the economy, stupid. I don't know the context of that one, but that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that. Pat Buchanan yelling about how we shouldn't have George H.W. Bush elected again. And he goes with, down with King George. Although, to be fair, that would be more apt for what happened in 2000, but hey man, just saying. And yeah, that's... Oh, wait, Bill Clinton, I forgot. It's time to change America. Ross Perot, we're gonna finish it here with Ross Perot. I'm Ross, and you're the boss. Nice little rhyme in there. I can get behind that. So, finally we get to 2000, because 1996 doesn't have that great lines here. And these are ones that I think we should mostly remember. So I'm just going to cover, I think, my favorites here. By the way, this is all just some of my favorite ones that we've passed by so far. So, we're going to go with George W. Bush's Reformer with Results. I don't know what results you're talking about, but hey man, go for it. Yeah, it's really it from 2000, but 2004, we'd get Howard Dean and his Dean for America. Too authoritarian in my opinion, but whatever. We actually have John Kerry pulling out Langston Hughes. I know. Someone actually quotes a black person. And he just chose Let America Be America Again. I read that poem by Langston Hughes. And dude, you're the spitting image in that poem of what is wrong with America. Can I just say that? Just knowing the context of the poem. Yeah, I know, man. You shouldn't be talking. W brings back a safer world and a more hopeful America. No. We had no hope with you. We just kind of gave up. And we now jump to 2008. The classic Yes We Can from Barack Hussein Obama. That's really the only one that I want to mention. Nothing against John McCain, but it's not that great. Just reform, prosperity, and peace. Sorry, don't really care. 2012. Mitt Romney's Believe in America. It's pretty good, and the America's Comeback Team is pretty good. I like that. So, let's see. We have Mitt Romney channeling our friends across the pond in the British Conservative Party when he says Obama isn't working, as the Conservative Party in Britain said, actually around the same time, of Labour isn't working, in reference to the Labour Party. Restore Our Future, Mitt Romney still. Restore America Now by Ron Paul. Yeah, Gary Johnson. The people's president. No. We're never gonna elect a libertarian. Okay? And we're sure as shit not electing a Green Party member. I'm sorry. Okay, now I'm gonna jump to 2016 and specifically cover, I think, a few of the pretty good, some of the pretty good, just zingers in there. As much as I would like to say, Bernie Sanders, feel the burn. Unfortunately, wasn't an official one, so I can't officially say that's a campaign slogan. I'm sorry. That would be though in 2020 while he was still in it. He did feel the burn and he leaned in on it. And of course we have Donald Trump echoing Ronald Reagan in Make America Great Again, obvious. But then came the one of the more questionable ones from Jeb Bush in Jeb. Just yelling Jeb. No. Jeb can fix it. That is dangerous. That's a dangerous one. If you know who what that's originally from, and that's from Jim'll Fix It. Jim, I think his name was Kerrigan or something like that. It was a British TV host who used to be like one of the whiz kids of like refurbishment and repairs and stuff. And he was seen in the British House for a long time as being the guy you go to solve your problems. Because he, could do the housework. He could also talk about, relationship advice and stuff like that. So, if anything needed doing, as the British would say, well, Jim could fix it. Jim will fix it. But it came out later in his life that he's a pedophile. And had indeed raped a lot of little kids and a lot of tax dodging as well. So yeah, no, not the greatest guy in the world. So damn. Bold strategy to use that in America. If anyone in America knows where that phrase is from, you're screwed. But you know what? You didn't win anyways, so it doesn't matter. But Jesus Christ, dude. I'll give Jeb Bush this. He had cojones to try. It didn't work though. Bobby Jindal's campaign of tanned, rested, ready. And Hillary Clinton came with love trumps hate. Fair enough. Gary Johnson, I just like how boring this one is. You win? It's like, I don't know. But you win? No. And really, that's about everything that I really want to say. Except I'll end it on Pete Buttigieg's. Maybe Andrew Yang's. It's one of the two. But I like Pete Buttigieg's one of it's just boot edge. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's cheesy but good. And yeah, we'll end it on Andrew Yang's of math. Make America think harder. I think you should. I think you should actually just cut it off at T, because we need to make America think. Personal opinion, just saying. So that has been every campaign slogan that I feel really deserves to be mentioned right now. Some of them are fantastic, some of them not so much. I hope you enjoyed. If you want more of this kind of content where I literally just read verbatim from Wikipedia, let me know and I'll do these again. I had fun here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, nothing in this world is without Sin.